Hi guys, Vinaya Saunders here. Welcome to my channel. Today again we'll go through some of the pregnancy related question and answers. Hmm, okay. So, do you have any books on pregnancy related issues? I want to educate myself with lifestyle during pregnancy, anything that is Ayurvedic or organic. So, okay, I know in another video I told you that buying any of those pregnancy books that are available here in United States is just all about what could go wrong. Yes, there are some Ayurvedic books, but they don't really go through individual problems. Um, it is all about the dinacharya and how you need to keep yourself happy and love yourself and taking care of yourself. It's all about what time to wake up, what to eat, etc., etc. They don't really address like, okay, during this week you will have this kind of complaints and things like that, because pregnancy is a journey, and the whole Indian outlook is completely different from the American outlook. Why I say that is because if I were to live in India, they wouldn't let me go anywhere, because the roads are not that great. It's bumpy. Here we just drive so far away, and women are working and driving, commuting. So it's very strange how they treat you very much that you're weak, versus here they kind of give you that strength. And then you see, culturally, you see women being pregnant and doing things, having a tiny baby, going places. So you will see babies outside. It's something so different. So Ayurveda kind of like defines a lot of those kind of things where you're not meant to do a lot of things, like during your periods, how you don't do certain things in India versus in United States. You don't even care. You just put a tampon and go even jump in the pool. So there will be those kind of differences that you will notice, where you can really think of, okay, that doesn't really apply to me, and then go on. Don't assume that you're making a mistake, because a lot of time they will define like, okay, banana milk cannot go together, which is true. And it causes viruddhaharas and causes aversion in your body, that your body kind of gets into that autoimmune kind of a thing. So those are the things that will come up, and if you've already are doing it, don't regret it. So those are the spaces where you will have to like pay attention to taking in the information, but also checking what's serving you. And yeah, and like all Ayurvedic books says, whatever a mother does is what baby feels. So if you are a person who's working in information things, or working in media, you have to consume some news, which is inevitable. If you are working in some scenarios where you have to go in the corporate world, you are consuming some kind of different information. So during those process, pay attention to unwind and check out when people are bothering you or draining you. And yeah, that's about it. So it's like it all depends on how a mother goes through the journey, how sacred you can treat it, how to normalize in some things and not really treat it like, oh, this is a big burden. um, so that's where it is. It's like you will have to draw the line yourself. Okay, let's take next question. Okay, heartburn remedy, heartburn remedy, heartburn remedy. Okay, the thing is, it's like it depends on your diet. It depends on when did you conceive. Like I conceived when I had probably excess pitta in my body, and I had worst heartburns. Like, and then the funny part is when you have worst heartburn and the baby comes out and it's just so much of hair, you just look at it and say, "Wow, those heartburns were really, really helpful." Even though you struggle now, but then the baby looks so beautiful with big head full of thick hair. Although I didn't have any heartburn for my older son, who has the thickest hair of all, I ate a lot more fruits and vegetables than anything else, but I didn't have any heartburn for him. Now I ate a lot of those fried stuff, snacks, and spicy stuff. Of course, I will get heartburn, right? That was my easy go-to, and I craved it few months. So this is where, see, you need to know what pregnancies want. Each pregnancy is different. So depending on what you eat. Now, the instant remedy that you can have, I'm sure I would have told before, is cold milk. That's one. Option two is a little bit of a frozen pineapple, like a little colder version. Again, not for women who are in their starting early trimester, because pineapple can be heating for somebody. So try to add those frozen pineapple like after second trimester, third trimester, it's completely okay. Apart from that, soaking raisins and a few other herbs. It's on my website, Prevent Then Cure. It's called Reverse Reflux, and those kind of herbs that soaked overnight and had in the morning actually helps to remove any kind of reflux. um, but again, it's just body doing its job. All discomfort, please welcome them because nature is taking care of you in some way or other. And avoid fried food, spicy food. uh, Once if you eat and it's not working and you have acid reflux, just quit eating those things. That's how you can help yourself. um, do you have any links to guided meditation? No, I used to prefer just the slow, amazing, soothing instrumental music. That was my go to, and you find so many online. Apart from that, guided meditation, just, you guide yourself a little bit where you're relaxing. Whenever you go through those instrumental music, try to go from toe till your head so that you can relax. So I relax my toe, I relax my second toe, I relax my third toe, I relax my ankle. So something like that. So you define each part and go through those body anatomy and relax, because every time you do that, I somewhere felt like my baby was once very quiet, listening to me so intricately that he probably was relaxing. That's how beautiful it was when I was guiding through one of the yoga studio here in Equinox, where I had like room full of people and I was guiding through those yoga nidra kind of a thing. And yeah, I could feel the baby just, very calm and somewhat relaxed. You will feel it, as a mom, when there is a being inside you and that being is going through something, you will notice and you will know. Okay, how do you store breast milk in the freezer, meaning plastic container? Yes, sadly, that is what is available. But again, depends. See, some pregnancies, your babies want to drink breast milk out of plastic container, warmed up, and then put in the bottle. Some babies, like I have number 5 and number 6, didn't even want it. Like I had to go to DC and come back, and my number 5 would wait. So I had to stop all my classes so that I can just be there to feed her. But she wouldn't take a bottle. She wouldn't take any of those frozen milk. So initially, I had a friend who referred saying, when the milk comes in within that 2, 3 days, that's when you pump harder and then put it away in the freezer so you have stack of milk. Um, Now, your breast has this, functionality where it can detect what the baby wants in its next meal. So if your baby is kind of catching cold, the immunity cells will be more in your breast milk. So the breast milk is according to what baby needs at that moment. So if you have that option of staying home, do not breastfeed your baby with the packet ones. I know some mothers want to sleep all night long. It again depends on the mother's convenience, mother's lifestyle. What is she doing? If you have that comfort of, staying home with the baby, forget the whole pumping, forget the whole, storing breast milk. I had to do it for number 3 only because my husband wanted to feed the baby, but he wouldn't take that much. So it was always, it's easier to train your breast, and it's easier to like have that breast go from, okay, the baby's finished its meal and then it's back to normal, versus this pumping confuses. Because I remember when I pumped, the breast milk is too much. I had, I think for the baby number 4, I even got temperature because the ducts get clogged. Because you're pumping, the body thinks, oh, you need more milk, but then you want to sleep and the baby drinks hardly this much because it's just newborn. So these are the, itty bitty things that can go wrong during the breastfeeding stage. Again, that's completely different from your prenatal stuff. Okay, after the baby's out, it's like a big chapter of things that is again lined up for you. So try not to have this whole concept of, I will put away some milk and I'll feed it whenever. But if you want to keep it for emergency, if you're pumping. But for me, with all the pregnancies, I can tell you, training the breast to just feed the baby and not having breast pump is the best thing. Because pumping that amount of so many ounces, writing the date and putting it away and giving stale milk to baby, I don't think I like that. Anyway, again, it depends on women who have a different journey where they're working. Then yes, they have to pump. So my baby number 4, I think I worked a lot at that time. So he did take a lot of those packet warmed up milk, and yeah, I think after that we stopped. Hmm. How much greens are we talking about? Should they be like salad type, raw in large quantities, or Indian style, more leaf or less? So, adding green leaf is important for women who don't want to add that prenatal pills. I think I took prenatal pills for my first pregnancy and I was done because it caused a lot of constipation for me. It caused discoloration in my face, my body. Gross. So, anyways, that's my point of view. That's for my body. I don't know about yours. So, in that scenario, I had to have a bowl of greens every day. So, make sure you add that bowl of greens in the afternoon, not the salad ones. The raw salad will cause bloating and gas. Usually in America, they eat it with meat, with some kind of heavy, dense, carnivore diet, so that it can get pushed. That's the only reason they eat those green salads. But if you're an Indian origin, add that pappu, whatever greens go in it, different greens, just bring it, eat it. It will give you whatever nourishment your body needs. See, nature takes over. Nature knows what to do. So once you put the right amount of things, the body will start taking whatever it is and help with you, with your iron increase. So that was one thing that was mainly important for me, along with beets juice, because my iron level has been low for several pregnancies, and that is quite normal. Again, my midwife had told me that if my iron was much lower than 15, she can't even take me for labor and delivery. So that happens. So to up your iron, that's one great thing, like adding green every day. Maybe sprinkle toasted sesame seeds a little bit, so it's not, you're not consuming too much that it's heating the body, but then it's also adding that, calcium and iron and those kind of elements in your diet. But otherwise, the body knows what it's doing. Don't think too much. Next, hmm. Is there any difference in an IVF pregnancy versus normal pregnancy except for the medication? So once the embryo is in your uterus, you kind of are on medications, that's completely fine, but your body takes over. So once the body identifies you as pregnant, everything is going to go well, is what you need to think. Because if you are with the IVF people and they constantly say, oh, that CG level number should have been here, it's not here. So then you're again, getting into the fear mongering zone, which kind of they're doing their job. But once you are understanding that you're pregnant, your body is understanding, pay attention, be cautious, because In Ayurveda, we say anybody who's around like after 35, 40, where the English medicine calls it, what is it, geriatric pregnancy, which is really funny. But whereas Ayurveda says it's precious, it's so precious, like tiny pearl in oyster shell. So you need to save it, you need to nourish it. So pay attention to your movements, rest more. Like if you're paid for IVF so much, and then finally there is this success story coming at you, it's your divine timing to be pregnant. Please celebrate it. Please take care of it. Don't do anything foolish. I had one lady, this was a long time back when I was in Colorado, working with assisted living. And this lady was in her probably 80s. And she said, I was 5 months pregnant, but I was so foolish that I went on a ski trip and she fell over face first. I was like, who does that to themselves? So she had to go for an emergency C-section. The baby was like literally struggling, but somehow ended up being strong and grew up to be her daughter. So don't do all those things. Please avoid such silly mistakes. Sorry about that. Um, so that's something that you'll have to really think about. Once IVF is over, if they transfer you to OBGYN, you are a normal pregnant. So treat your body as this sacred vehicle that is doing the best it can do for you. And then start being that good pregnant of just normal pregnancy. Release all kinds of fear that you're holding, that, oh, this is not normal. Because then they also scare you into emergency C-section at the end because your baby's growing fine. Then it's up to you how you want to deal with it. I think they take several ultrasounds nowadays. When I was pregnant, long, 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 long back, 2004-ish, there was only two ultrasounds that was allowed for a woman on the insurance. But now I think they just want to see inside every time, each time. And if you have this IVF pregnancy, then they really want to look into you, keep a watch on you. So again, don't give in to fear mongering. Be confident about your body. Your body is doing everything it can. So treat yourself as a normal pregnant and release all those fears that you have developed over a period of this whole journey, because IVF is not a small, easy journey. It is so emotionally taxing. I work with several women on healing and, diet and nutrition. So I know it's not simple. It's not a joke, because there's so much of emotional experiences that are connected to that. So, how long before body knows how to handle pregnancy is a normal organic way, even though it happened through IVF. So again, once the IVF people transfer you to OBGYN, you're good to go. So till then, please be careful. Please work on all the medications that you're taking. Follow all those things, because you want this embryo to really grow into that fetus and then, be this beautiful baby for you. So make sure you just follow the protocol, and then once they transfer you, just allow yourself to celebrate, enjoy, rest, nourish yourself, pamper yourself, slow down. Don't even bother about the world. Let the world go to hell. uh, no news. Try to always keep your mind focused on where is my next meal coming from and how amazingly tasty it is. That's it. That's all. Walk, talk to whomever you want to. Some calls are completely unnecessary. Some people are unnecessary. Cut them all out. I had one friend who was going through a lot of problem, but I had to block her because it was never ending repeat mode. And after some time, you can't really handle such things when you're pregnant, because you're not supposed to do it. So save yourself, protect your energy. People don't care about you. People invade and drain your energy. So all those pregnant women who get overloaded with, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be not here, not there. So all those rules and regulations that they give, they completely drain you. Keep them out. Just say, you know what, thank you so much, but I don't want to entertain you anymore, because your energy you have to conserve to make the babies. Similarly, all the tests that they do with taking, like, liters and liters of blood from you, see which one is important for you and say no thank you, because you need it to make your baby. Okay. You are the protection shield for your baby. So it's important. I learned it from my husband, because this last pregnancy was more or less like the doctor and the nurse are looking at me. It's like, why don't you want any test? Why don't you want us to poke your baby and draw some blood so that we know that she's healthy? I'm like, no, I know she's healthy. That's my baby. Give it back to me. And yeah, I had to hold her and not give her to any of those nurses, because they're constantly used to like, oh, why are you refusing this hepatitis shot? It's like, yeah, the baby came out just now. It has no sexually transmitted disease. You can run tests on me. I don't have any. So they're just following protocol. So you need to be that shield. It's my baby. It's my baby's sleep time, because I know the Indian relatives are like very happy to come at the wrong time and then wake the baby up and do nonsense. So you need to be the biggest shield for your baby. And it happens probably all your life, because God has given you this responsibility of this tiny being, and this tiny being can be target from every place possible. Like my 6-year-old is still staying home and doing her homeschooling. There are people who say, "Why don't you want to put her in school?" Like, I don't believe in sending my cutest little amazing talkative 6-year-old, take her and leave her in school from morning 7:45 to like 2:45. Like, no, she was given to me as a gift. So that's the amount of shielding that goes through all life. It's the same thing with a teenager. You put your foot down and say, nope, you're not going after 8:30, because I don't want you to go. I don't trust the drivers outside. I trust your driving, but not people outside. So you're constantly doing that as a parent till they are 25, probably, because their pituitary gland is not developed. So be on the lookout. You are signing up for this. So shield your energy during pregnancy, shield your baby's energy. You are its protective shield. And that tiny being is trusted you so much on this planet. Don't be naive. Don't underestimate the world's distraction. Be cautious, because kids are targeted a lot. Okay. It includes all those ads that come with eating sugary stuff. So, yeah. Okay. Things to know while choosing a midwife or a doula. So basically, nobody's doing anything for you. Okay. You go through the pain. You prepare yourself. Nobody's even clapping and saying, oh, you did a great job. Maybe your husband, he'll say, oh, you did a great job. But he has no clue what you went through. Okay. One thing. So always think about rewarding yourself. When you do something strenuous with your prenatal yoga, think about, wow, I did amazing. I am good at this, because that's encouraging the body. You will notice those things. Again, midwife is standing on the side. She will wait till you're pushing. Similar to doctors, only when you're pushing is when the doctor enters. Till then, the nurse is the one. So you are the one. You are the main character of this whole labor and delivery. Don't think about somebody else is going to reduce your pain. Somebody else is there to help you out. No. When I did my doula certification, they showed me a bunch of videos, and it was all about labor and delivery, very beautiful way. The doula is doing nothing but putting chapstick, putting wet towel, then holding your hand. Doula comes handy if you go to hospital. Tell her I don't want epidural, because that's the vulnerable stage of last, towards the end, when you're ready to push, is when the contractions increase. But then the nurses will say, why do you want to take that pain? Here you go, joy button, just press it and you'll be fine. So you won't even understand when to push. And the nurses stress you, saying 1, 2, 3, push. So this is what is happening there. Then the doula being there will be helpful, saying, no, 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 we can wait for 4 more contractions, we can wait for 5 more contractions. So that's the doula's responsibility, to tell you not to take epidural. Okay. And she's the one who's just bridging that gap for you, saying it's almost there, you're almost there. So that's a good one. Midwives are also fear mongers. They're sitting there saying, "What can go wrong with you?" I was this super healthy pregnant, baby number three, no swelling even in the feet, none of those things. And they used to be like, "Oh, how is that not happening?" So I'm like, "I don't need that much of salt and sugar." So, like, how did you know that? So, this is how it was. It was more like me giving them more knowledge about pregnancy. I used to eat a lot of cacao nibs for manganese and magnesium. They were like, "Oh, how did that happen?" So they don't know much sometimes. Even if it is well versed, really very experienced midwife, they go one labor at a time, and it's all different. It's very different. They will know certain things intuitively, but apart from that, if you are a normal person who's choosing a midwife, it's just when they need to push. When I mean, they help you only when you need to push. So that's one thing. Secondly, how do you choose them? Check around, Google how many labors and deliveries they've done, how many has been in the emergency, because there are midwives who will scare you and say, "Oh, let's go take them to the hospital." So it shouldn't be like that. So check their bio and see, and how many labor that the doula has been through, so you'll know. Then that's how you pick a midwife or a doula. Okay, next one is, what if I can't sleep? Where is my sleep going? Okay, forget that 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. sleep. It's not happening. Because the vata will be high, most of the women end up sleeping deep from probably 12 to 5 a.m. Sometimes sleeping 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's your deepest sleep. That's why a lot of pregnant women can't wake up in the morning. Now, when you start doing prenatal yoga every week, you will start noticing that kind of can be tuned down, and you will start noticing you're able to sleep at 8 o'clock, but stay awake here and there, go back to sleep, and still have deep sleep. And second trimester will be like, I don't know, miracles somehow, just like a trump card in between. It's escape kind of a thing. But just understand, body will go through this whole ups and downs with sleep, because you're getting trained to be with the baby when the baby comes. So the body has no regular sleep cycle. And forget sleep for 2 years. Trust me. Just say, whenever I sleep, if I get deep sleep, I'm happy about it. That's about it. Don't have this rule of 9 p.m. to 7 and I need 8 hours sleep. Nope, you're going with a wrong approach into pregnancy, because babies don't sleep that way. Again, co-sleeping helps a lot. Once the baby comes, put them next to you. They're going to have the body heat. And I used to sleep a lot, because that sleep is what gets you back out of your weight zone, nurtures you, releases you from that whole labor, and fixes your body, everything. We need that sleep that is bringing back our health. So make sure you focus on sleeping whenever, just whenever. I napped all the time. If I used to commute long sometimes during one pregnancy, where if I felt sleepy, I parked in a parking lot, closed my eyes. That's it. So it depends. It depends on how you can cope with all kinds of itty bitty complaints. It has nothing to do with baby. It's not because, oh, I'm pregnant, that's why this is happening. No, it is just your body getting ready for those 1 or 2 year marathon of no sleep to some extent. Okay, next one. Dreams of sex, orgasm in early pregnancy, is this normal, safe? Yep, all normal, all safe, because the baby is pushing on the root chakra, and your sexual organs are quite close by, so it's active, and you will feel a lot more, sexually activated thoughts and all those things. So you'll have to really think about, how can I let go of my dreams, because I have had bizarre dreams of lion jumping. I don't know, like, I can't even label some. I used to write it down, but then I gave up because it makes no sense. That's how the mind is. the baby affects the mind too. So don't worry about all these things. Understand the body is going through a lot of changes. Again, shoot me all the questions. I'll be more than happy to answer. I hope this answers most of your questions. And yeah, we'll see in another video. Take care. Bye.